Hey guys, Happy New Year. 2022 is going to be an amazing year. And I want you guys to say that out loud for your own year. Give that positive affirmation. Say it's going to be an amazing year and then just will it into existence. Start your day off like that. Very positive. Like, start it off by saying today is going to be a wonderful day and then go from there. Might change your life. But anyway, in today's video, I do want to give you guys an update on what I have planned for 2022. And also, I'm going to review the video I did last year with the goals I had planned for the channel. Kind of see how close I got and make some comments on it. Because the channel did kind of pivot around springtime. We'll discuss all that. And then obviously, plans going forward. But first, let me give a couple of shout outs. Gifts to the Viking Samurai. First shout out is to Mike the Machine Bruce. If you guys can't tell, this is actually a horseshoe that he bent with his bare hands. Pretty incredible. And he personalized it. He said, "To Dave, much respect. The Machine." So thanks, Mike. By the way, that's insane if you think about it, because I know a lot of you guys are probably pretty strong, right? You could probably bench a lot, squat a lot, etc. But how many of us could just bend this thing with our bare hands? Not many. It's pretty badass. So this is definitely going in the bookcase. I don't know where exactly. I'll just put it there for now. Next shout out is to Casey Lauer. He's affiliated with and a member of the Martial Arts History Museum. So he gave me this cool hat and also this cool t-shirt. So next time you guys are in Burbank, California, make sure to check out that museum to get all your martial arts history. It's pretty cool. Okay, so now to review what went on last year, summarize it, and see how close I came to some things I set out to do January 1st of last year. In early January, we're going to finally break 20,000, and for 2021, the goal is 100,000 subscribers. Now, I'm setting the bar kind of high because I think it's pointless to set a bar out there that you could essentially just walk over, right? We gotta set it high like we should with all of our goals in life. Yeah, we should definitely set the bar high for all the goals in our life, of course. So, how close did I get to that 100,000? Didn't quite get there. Didn't quite get there. Going to end the year with over 43,000 though. So going into 2021 with just a little less than 20, and then ending with an extra 23,000, so 43,000 total. It's not bad. It's not bad. I was hoping on the low end I'd hit at least 50. And the way the channel's been growing, YouTube's interesting. It's not just steady. Sometimes we get a lot of subs and views, and then not that many, and then some and not that many. But the channel is growing, and I am adding subs every day. I mean, on average, I guess about maybe close to 2,000 a month, which is pretty good. I mean, now some months are maybe 2,500, and then maybe some months are 1,500. But as long as they keep adding, we're gonna get there. It's gonna take time. I mean, there's not a lot of channels that can hit 100K, but I'm not out here on YouTube with low goals, right? No, the bar is gonna get high. We're gonna get 100K. We get 50K, obviously, not too long from now. But that 100K is coming, and I want to get that plaque. I want to put it here. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Help me, help the community, get the word out on making the 80s and 90s great again. So, yeah, we fell short, but we're not giving up, man. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep getting those subs and keep putting out videos and being consistent. But we'll also expand the content. For example, it's almost shocking I haven't done a video on Bruce Lee yet. A lot more to cover. I did like one Arnold Schwarzenegger video. We're going to cover more of him and more of the lesser known guys like Gary Daniels, Billy Blanks, Don the Dragon Wilson. I'm also going to continue to do like the movie breakdowns. Okay, so yeah, I did get a few Bruce Lee videos. I mean, they're pretty good videos. I'm not going to say they're the best videos, but some of them are interesting. There's a Bruce Lee playlist, by the way. Check that out. I still need to rewatch all of his greatest hits and do a breakdown on these. So I want to do more Bruce Lee content. Be perfectly honest, though, there are much better channels out there for Bruce Lee content. Now, as far as like Stallone or Van Damme content, even Steven Seagal content, like that's where it's at right here on this channel. But there's much better channels out there for Bruce Lee. But obviously he's the martial arts legend, so I got to cover him. He's not obviously from the 80s or 90s era that I tend to prefer to cover, but such an icon, man. Got to talk about Bruce. As far as Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously he's huge from the 80s and 90s. I put him on the Mount Rushmore of action movie stars along with Stallone, Seagal, and Van Damme. And kind of a shame I haven't done more Arnold videos. I only really have that one.
You son of a bitch.
So there is going to be more. There's going to be more.
I'll be back.
For sure. For sure, going forward. As far as like those other guys I wanted to cover, I mentioned like, Billy Blanks and Gary Daniels. Haven't really did videos on them yet. But Don the Dragon Wilson, he was on the channel. How freaking cool is that? He was on the channel. And I talked to him for a long time. So there's going to be way more videos with him that I just need to like edit and put out there. So more Don coming. And I'm pretty sure I'll have an opportunity to get him back. Pretty sure I'll have an opportunity to get him back. And cover some more stuff because he's a fascinating guy. He's just full of energy and excitement, and obviously stories because he's lived an amazing life in the kickboxing and martial arts film world. I'm sure other things unrelated to that too, but obviously that's what we're interested in, right? So anyway, we'll definitely cover a lot of these guys for sure, man. I cover a lot. Karate Kid, Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon, Roadhouse.
Oh my God, Roadhouse!
So, yeah, it's funny. I did not do any videos on the Karate Kid, even though I think it's one of the greatest martial arts films of all time. Funny enough, I am actually going to have somebody who is quite amazing in that first Karate Kid film on the channel soon. That's going to be set up. I'm going to talk to him this month. And then Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. That's one of the greatest martial arts films of all time. Yes, it is a shame I have not covered that. I will cover that. But there's a reason why I haven't covered that or the Karate Kid and some other stuff, which I'll get into a little bit later. You probably already know the reason, but there is a reason. And then as far as Roadhouse, I did some amazing Roadhouse content, honestly, with real badass professional bouncers talking about that and the potential reboot sequel and other things. So, yeah, Roadhouse was covered at least. Roadhouse was at least covered. Not necessarily like the film by itself, but things related to the film. So there'll be more of that. I'll also do more fitness-related content because I started a series on, getting the best shape of my life at 40, which I'm still pursuing and will do. Not only are we going to make the 80s and 90s great again on this channel, we're going to make middle-aged bodies great again, right? Why can't we be in our prime? Why can't we be in better shape than when we were in college? And then so I did tinker around with that series a little bit. Like, I gave my full meal plan. I gave my full breakfast that I've been doing for 20 years, which is like a super shake. I did a couple, like, stretch-type videos. Didn't do a lot of training videos. So, I scratched the surface with it. I even did a DEXA scan video, to get the body fat reading. So, this series is going to be a lot better this year. And I did an intro video the other day, but I'm going to cover everything. Recovery, training, stretching. The first intro video I did, it was almost like a philosophical question, because it's subjective. Like, what is the best shape of your life? Like, let's actually break it down and define it. And I told you what it means for me. But then, obviously, I said, well, you got to define it for yourself. And then once you do, obviously, go for it. It's going to be an amazing series. And I'm going to start training my neck officially thanks to what I mentioned, the guy earlier, Mike the Machine Bruce, the horseshoe bending dude. He's like got the most incredible neck and has all these, training courses and the device Netflix. You should check that out because that's what I'm going to use to build my neck. And get that big Rambo neck, right? The fitness-related things, workout-related things, going to be covered way more extensively this year. And yeah, like I said in the intro video, it's for you guys to get ideas and maybe incorporate some of those ideas into like your own workout plans. So I think it's going to be beneficial. And who doesn't want to get in better shape? If not the best shape of your life, better shape than you currently are. That's definitely worth pursuing. We'll continue to evolve and expand the channel in general, but the bread and butter is really going to be the 80s and 90s martial arts in action. But we'll try to get stuff that's more... Speaking of like expanding the channel in general, so it took a huge pivot around springtime. I had done a video really breaking down and dissecting that whole Gene LaBelle Steven Skull story. And the video was pretty popular. It actually got Stephen Lambert's attention. His writing partner reached out to me. Check out his book, by the way. Stephen Lambert, From the Streets of Brooklyn to the Halls of Hollywood. Pretty cool book. I'll link it in the description below. And I only recommend it because it is very entertaining. The way I describe it, it's like if you're hanging out with Stephen, you're at a bar, maybe sharing a beer, and he's telling you all these stories. That's literally how that book reads, so it's amazing. But I did find out on Facebook, by the way, that he did have an injury with boiling water, something about a coffee pot, and he got burned. So let's all send, our well wishes to Stephen to get better soon, because I think this is going to affect him for the next couple of weeks, unfortunately. So we wish you well, Stephen Lambert. Get better. Oh, but going back to that, so his writing partner reached out to me and said Stephen would like to share the story because he was literally there on set and witnessed the whole thing. So I said, well, yeah, of course. Like, let's get him on. That would be amazing. So he was the first guest I ever had on the show, and then all of a sudden it just snowballed. Next thing I know, I got amazing greats like Sheldon Lettich, writer director of Double Impact and Lionheart, obviously writer of Bloodsport as well. So yeah, it's been incredible. Like, a lot of the guys that I've had on the channel as guests, just absolutely incredible. Too many to name. But for me as a fan, because those are literally some of my favorite films, Sheldon Lettich sure was a treat to have on. Definitely. Oh, and then as far as like that Seagal LaBelle story, I actually got another guy who was on set later, a more recent video, Conrad Palmisano, the actual stunt coordinator, the guy who brought Gene LaBelle on the set in the first place, because Gene LaBelle wasn't hired to be a stuntman initially. That's not what his role was, and he was really only on set for a day. But anyway, check that video out too. We get even more in-depth and detail into the whole story. And then, as far as Steven Seagal goes, he's such a badass, right? And I had a whole slew of videos I made about Steven Seagal last year, and including from one of the guys that trained with him, Remy, an Aikido instructor. So there's been some really cool content on the channel this year. Make sure to catch up on some of those older videos if you haven't seen them, by the way, or if you're new to the channel. Too much cool stuff to name. This just came to the top of my head. But let's continue on with this related to what's currently going on. For example, the most popular video I had in 2020 was actually Mike Tyson's comeback. That video almost got 1 million views, which is insane compared to some of my videos that got like a couple hundred. I think one of my UFC videos was like the least watched. So yeah, that was pathetic. So some people ask like, oh, how come you don't cover the UFC or that? Well, because these videos don't get any views for me, Yes, I am interested and I watch the UFC, of course. I'm into martial arts, but people just don't associate my channel, or YouTube algorithm's not pushing it out to UFC fans for whatever reason, I mean, you're almost like stuck in your little niche. Like, there's so much I want to cover. I barely scratched the surface on this 80s and 90s stuff, by the way. So if I were to start doing more UFC stuff or even boxing videos, which, by the way, had a really cool guest, former 2-time heavyweight champ Tim Witherspoon. Made a couple videos with him. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I do want to expand the content. Now, because I did those videos with Tim, it doesn't mean I'm just going to start doing a bunch of boxing videos, but it was really incredible to have him on. And, I did videos with Mike the Machine Bruce as a strongman and talking about that. So the channel's all really relational to what I like to call badass guy stuff. Obviously I do have, a small female audience, and hopefully it gets bigger, because even though I call it guy stuff, like dirt bikes and machine guns are guy stuff, but that doesn't mean women can't ride dirt bikes or shoot machine guns, maybe not at the same time. But anything related to being like badass guy stuff, whether it's boxing, I guess, MMA if I ever go back there, obviously this stuff, like I'm going to cover it, even if it's not like a big focus in a specific area, though I do want to cover it to some degree if there's like an opportunity, that comes up, or something in the news worth talking about. So the goal for 2021, let's get that video that breaks 1 million views. Now, I'm going to do my part and basically make the best video I can possible, but the stars really got to align. I think with the Mike Tyson one, you know, there's always an element of luck when it comes with anything in life, and I think the Mike Tyson one, the timing was right. The YouTube algorithm picked it up. It just worked out. So like I said, we're gonna do like 100 videos and comment below. Okay, so did I get that million viewed video? No, I did not. But I have a couple videos that did break a million views. It just took a long time. Did not get that viral video. I hope to this year, because that, you know, you get a million viewed video. I mean, you probably add like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 new subs from it. So that's how we get up to 100,000. You know, we need that big video. I believe the video that got the most views this year was Jean-Claude Van Damme's Real Fights, really breaking that down. I initially talked about, like, why did it even matter in that era? Why was it important in the 80s and 90s that you have a real legit martial arts dude in these movies? There is a specific reason. Doesn't really matter these days, because we have things like MMA and the UFC. You want to see real fighters, just watch that. You don't need the movies for that. Movies can provide something else. Be perfectly honest, I think the martial arts movie genre today kind of sucks. You know, which is why I talk about the 80s and 90s. That doesn't mean it can't come back in a big way, and I have a feeling it will. And I'm not going to expand on that for now, though. But yeah, the most viewed video, which it did okay initially out the gate, and then it just started going up, and then going up a lot more lately, was that Jean-Claude Van Damme Real Fights video. I think we're at over 400,000 views on it now. And this was a really cool one, because I used a segment from an interview I had with Bay Logan. He's mostly known for like the Eastern stuff, Hong Kong stuff. He's like a huge Bruce Lee expert, etc. But he did like an early magazine article on Van Damme, and obviously had to do some research into finding out about Van Damme's background. So I got that information from him. And then also from Jeff Langton, who's become a friend. He was Sonny in Lionheart, and you know, he was there before Van Damme was really anything. Like, he was literally there at the premiere for the Bloodsport movie, and then he worked on Lionheart, and you know, so him and Van Damme go way back, and then he kind of explained you know, Van Damme's Real Fights as far as in relation to how, like, his you know, taekwondo matches were back in the day. They were pretty tough matches. So, you know, even though say, oh, Van Damme, he just did point karate. Well, some of these dudes were literally getting knocked out. I would consider those fights, not so much tip-tap stuff, right? Anyway, that was a cool video. That was a cool video featuring two really cool guys. Below if you want me to do a specific video, because I have a notebook with all of your ideas from the various comments, and I have like 100 of my own. And, you know, we're going to cover a lot this year. Some of them are more on the back burner. Some of your ideas, some of mine, and then some are more like higher up on the priority list, some of yours and some of mine. So, but comment below. I'll keep adding to that notebook, because we're eventually going to get to them. Ideally, we'll eventually get to them. So if you guys got video suggestions thrown my way, honestly, I don't know what page they're going to be on now, and I got so many of mine. So again, this ties into kind of, why didn't I do that Karate Kid video? Why didn't I do that Barry Gordy's Last Dragon video yet? Well, because the channel had that pivot where I ended up just having guests, and there's like there's a lot of great opportunities that I can't say no to. The only problem is obviously, you know, time, right? So I record so much great stuff, and sometimes I sit on it for months. I got more videos to edit with Sheldon Lettich. I probably got more videos to edit with Bay Logan. I got a lot, like I mentioned, with Don the Dragon Wilson. And a whole lot more. Even guys that I talked to months ago that I haven't even put a video out yet. And for that, if you guys are watching, I do apologize. Those videos are coming. They do take time to edit, but I end up in more like, you know, Zoom interviews and just get like buried in all this footage I got to edit. Which is why I don't even do the videos that I want to do by myself, doing those deep dives, like when I did Who All the Fighters in Bloodsport, which was a 3-part series, just a really deep dive. You know, it took a lot of research, but I can't even do videos like that because I got to edit all these other interviews. So I do want to do more videos like that in the future. I got to just try to find that, you know, that nice balance. I mean, I've been doing YouTube now for a little over 2 years, and I'm getting better at like the process, but again, it's just, nobody teaches you this. You just learn on the job, like a lot of jobs, and again, it's not like I spent a lot of time on this, but I also do, other work that is totally unrelated. And obviously that takes a big portion of the day, like any of you, doing a day job or a career, for example. That's a big part of your day. So anyway, let me know in the comments. Would you like to see more of those videos I do myself with the super deep dives? Would you actually just like to see all the, videos where I have guests, the interviews? Would you like to see both? Would you like to see something different? Comment below. Comment below, because these videos, if you guys aren't watching them, like, I know it's pointless for me to even make them, right? It's like that tree falling in the forest thing. If you're not around, it doesn't make a sound, then well, what the hell's the point? It didn't even happen, right? So anyway. But anyway, I'm excited about 2021. I'm excited about the channel. All this kind of ties back in real quick. So the 100,000 subs, the channel will get more popular. And then my personal goal related to that best shape of my life at 40 video series. I want Greg Doucette to do a natty or not video on me. Now, the ultimate goal and compliment would actually be if he didn't think I was natural. So, but regardless, if he just covers a channel, that means we're popular enough. Okay, so the Greg Doucette, I did get his attention. It wasn't for a natty or not fitness related video. It was for this plates challenge where I think Stallone could pull that off. Whether those were real or not in the video is a different question. This dude is a beast, even at his age. But anyway, me and Greg got a little back and forth, and, he ended up calling me a moron. But usually, I would take offense, right? But because he calls everybody a moron, whatever, man, I don't really care. It is cool that I got his attention, not necessarily in the best way. Speaking of getting people's attentions, Frank Dukes. I seen him in a video. He mentioned the Viking samurai. So, like Greg Doucette, didn't necessarily say the best thing. I will say this, though. I literally talked to Frank Dukes for about 3 hours yesterday. It was an amazing conversation. Absolutely amazing. I like the guy. I'm going to have him on the show. We're going to do an interview later this month. It's going to be amazing content. And just to give you guys full disclosure, I did obviously a series, a continuing series on Destroy or Defend Frank Dukes. Now, right now, the series is very one-sided, where I got some guys wanting to destroy him for various reasons. I do got videos to edit with guys defending him, and I'm going to have Frank Dukes himself on. But just to give you full disclosure, I'm that neutral guy. I like both camps. It's almost like the Cobra Kai, these different martial arts factions feuding. And, you got Goldberg's side, and then you got Frank Dukes' side. I like both sides. I like both sides, to be honest, and I want to continue liking both sides. And it's beneficial for me, and it's beneficial for you guys, the channel, because if we want to get a story, we need the whole story told from both sides, or just even videos unrelated to each other. Like, I want to do things with Goldberg and his network that have nothing to do with Frank Dukes necessarily, and vice versa. So for me and for you guys, it's all in our best interest if I remain neutral and I'm friends with both camps. So as far as 2022 goes, a lot of exciting stuff, a lot more interviews coming out, a lot of videos I got to put out from stuff that I shot last year. I do want to do some of those solo videos like I mentioned going forward. And then I just got to find like that nice balance. Speaking of both of the Dukes and the Goldberg camp, by the way, Goldberg has this huge martial arts event at the end of January. I plan to go there, and if I do, I'm going to shoot some cool footage there. I'm going to talk to a lot of cool guys. I heard Michael Jai White's going to be there, so I got to talk to him, right? If you've seen some of the Michael Jai White videos I put out, he is going to be the coolest guy for me, probably for you guys, to talk to there, based on some videos that I had in 2021. And if you've seen them, you'll know what I'm talking about. But so yeah, I want to shoot stuff and do videos there at Goldberg's event. But also, dude, when I talked to Frank Dukes, I said, hey man, next time I'm in Vegas, I need to train with you for a day, and I need to film and put it on the channel. So can you imagine like all this cool content that I could get from like both camps? And to be perfectly honest, and I don't even know if this is possible, like anything is possible, though highly unlikely, if they see me, or other people see me, or people like me, that here's an individual that can be friends with Goldberg's camp and can be friends with Dukes' camp. Well, is it really that far-fetched that these camps can't be friends with each other? Now, with that said, I do know the history on what created the rift years ago, and I heard both sides. And because both sides, the way they see it, the way they perceive it, and the way I'm sure they even believe it, it's pretty far off. There's like a certain incident that took place. But hearing from both sides, it's like, boy, if they see and interpret it this way, and if they see and interpret that this way, they're so far apart, you know? And I'm not going to say which side is telling the truth because I don't know. It may lie somewhere in the middle, maybe more skewed on this side, maybe more skewed on this side. I'm not even going to try to figure that out because I really can't. Yeah, like you don't know. I really can't because they're both so adamant about what happened, and it is so far off from each other. But it kind of let me gauge and get an idea, and I could definitely see why they're not the best of friends, unfortunately. And I don't know if they ever will be, but I will do my part. To try to broker some peace. Like I said, I don't even know if that's possible. But regardless, it is in my best interest. It is in your best interest. It is in the martial arts community, any viewer's best interest that I can get content and do videos with and be friendly to both sides and everybody else in the martial arts community and the action movie world community. Is just that's just the way to go, and that's how I'm gonna run the channel. So anyway, going forward in 2022, there is something that is going to be huge. Huge. I'm not really going to talk about it right now. I will be talking about it more. But trust me, it will blow. I think it's going to blow a lot of people away. And I'm very excited about it. So anyway.